Hello, I want to talk to you about the very important new Org Overview report from Metazoa. This report captures everything that's important in an entire Salesforce org and creates a compact piece of text designed as context for AI reasoning. So that information becomes a fingerprint of the org that you can talk to directly to understand architecture, customer journey, priorities, problems, anything you want to know about your org from a bird's eye view. So we capture important signals from the org to create this report. First of all, anything about human intentionality. If it was changed by a human, there's a reason for that, and we want to understand those reasons. We capture any strategic or unusual assets that have a big impact on the org, and we ignore assets that look like they're default or not important. And then lastly, we capture key problems in terms of technical debt, security issues, or other architectural issues that we see about the org, because those are also important. When we look at metadata, we have a great capability to look at all of the metadata relationships between the assets, and we capture all of those. They show how the org is constructed. We capture asset size and all kinds of technical debt signals, including assets that haven't been used in a long time. We capture key descriptions and all kinds of packaging information. Packages are also an important part of this. We also look at objects, and we find the record counts and field counts and all of the automation details behind the objects. Those are very important for the structure and operation of the org. And we capture field, reference, formula, and external IDs as well. We also capture field information, including the total number of records, default, empty, and distinct values. We capture all of the business, security, and compliance group classification status information, as well as inline help and descriptions. We capture important signals about the corporation's use of Salesforce, including their company information, user participation in Salesforce, the license breakdown and information, and also managed packages that have been installed. This helps us understand how Salesforce as a product is being used. And all of this information becomes highly compressed and readable for AI. We generate a 20 to 30K context packet with all of the important information. This packet lets you conduct architectural reasoning, high-level characterizations, and multiple org comparisons between your different orgs. You can look at your cleanup and optimization or other priorities you have. And lastly, you receive strong platform adoption signals from this information. So, for example, is this org ready for Agentforce? Is this org already migrated to Lightning? What about DevOps and enterprise readiness or security product readiness? What about Data 360 utilization and readiness? And so these signals give you upgrade, expansion, risk, and modernization understanding of the Salesforce customer journey as well. The Org Overview report is very easy to use. You can just right-click any of your snapshots and under the documentation menu, select Org Overview. And the report will show you all of the metadata types that are in your current snapshot, and you can just select any of the types and see an example preview of the report over here. You can just right-click and check all of the types if you want and go to the display report, and this will create an overview of the entire org. And that may take a few minutes to run. Here under the report view, you will have all of the details of the metadata types and assets and everything that we compiled. The most important view, though, is here under the summary view, because that is where all of this information has been carefully chosen to be a package of text that is going to be reasonable in size and highly suitable for AI. So first of all, you have your company details, license details, package details. Then you have details about important fields, important objects, important metadata assets, and then lastly, a summary view of all of your metadata assets and everything that they reference in the entire org. And taken together, this information is essentially a fingerprint of the org at a very high level. And so we can ask all kinds of interesting questions about that. For example, I can say, tell me about the cleanup priorities for this org, and I get a complete roadmap for technical debt remediation, starting with the most important things. Or I could ask, tell me what Salesforce products this org is ready to adopt, and we get a detailed roadmap on the next products from Salesforce that this customer is ready to use. And lastly, I should mention, you can always take this report and simply export it as a CSV file and then use that in any of the AI engines that you want to use it with. So for example, I can go to ChatGPT and simply select that file, and I'm ready for all kinds of analysis and questions and answers about that entire Salesforce org.